All right. Up until now, it's been tough for me to say anything positive about what we've been getting done in the passing game, but I felt like on Saturday, the past Saturday, we went out and did some better things. There were some plays that were recognizable, and we threw it and we caught it pretty well. We made a few explosive plays, and I was pleased with the development on Saturday. I think they followed that up today. Again, we went out, and they seem to be, the quarterbacks I'm speaking of mostly, are understanding the concepts a little bit better and knowing where to go with the football. So I'm pleased with what's got done there with the two Brandons and AJ, who's been getting some reps. They've been doing a pretty solid job, so I'm comfortable with where we're at. A little bit better than I was the last time we spoke, so I'm more comfortable there. We continue to try to stay physical in the run game. Felt like we did some good things on that. Had a fumble last Saturday I wasn't very pleased with, an inside run, so we got to continue to work on that. But all in all, attitude's good, and the kids are working hard. With that, whatever you guys have.
Alan, I believe he went 4 or 6 on deep balls, and I think one of them was a drop, and maybe one of them receiver changed his route or something.
Yeah.
He's pretty accurate.
Yeah, he threw it downfield pretty good, didn't he? I was proud of him. I was pleased with that. He seems like he's pushing the ball downfield accurately on Saturday. I don't think we've been doing that routinely through the spring, but I felt like on Saturday. I even felt like on Thursday. I thought Brandon Allen had his better day on Thursday and a better day on Saturday, and he's pretty solid again today. So I feel like he's starting to grow a little bit, so I'm comfortable with that.
The 3 practices, but from what we've seen, it looks like there's separation with Allen and Mitchell. Is that happening yet?
You know, in certain things, I believe there is. I think the smoothness, the way the offense is running, it appears that way to me also, subjectively. Statistically, when you look at accuracy and decisions, he's a little bit ahead, but not considerably. I feel comfortable in letting those guys compete until coach is determined to make some decisions on which way he wants to go, and I'm really comfortable with how they're doing that.
Is there a scenario where we come out of Saturday with the guy being named the starter, or is this something that
you'll have? That's coach's call. He'll make that. My job is to get them all ready to play the best I possibly can using the reps that he's given me with them. So I stay out of that. He'll pick that starting quarterback. He'll ask me my opinion, and we'll move on. Right now, I feel like I said, I think that we're a little bit smoother, it appears, with Brandon Allen, but not considerably. And statistically, he might be a little bit ahead, but not considerably. I mean, there's no great separation, in my opinion, but I will say that Brandon Allen's had back-to-back very solid practices.
On the other end of that, the receiving core, Coach Bealman was in here Saturday, kind of touted him a little bit. What have you seen from that?
I think he's accurate. We struggled a little bit in the beginning of last week. I think on Saturday they went out and made some plays. Herndon dropped that big ball that somebody alluded to a moment ago, but for the most part he had a real solid day and made some downfield balls that were pretty comfortable and tough to catch over his shoulder. But a lot of that came with some placement of the footballs. We finally put a few deep balls where it was possible to catch, and that was a good thing. So when it takes a lot to throw and catch when you're pushing it downfield 50 yards, and that's the key of the drill. They got to be right where we need them to be when we need them to be there, and that's kind of where we've been rugged at lately, and we got a little bit closer on Saturday.
It was obviously really important at Wisconsin what they did with the power running game. How much of that has been put in here?
Quite a bit.
Yeah.
You know, I would say that the utilization of that position is going to be very prevalent in our offense. I think it is today. It always will be. Coach loves that position, as do I. It's always been one of my favorite positions, and quite honestly, I'm comfortable with the kids we have playing that spot right now. The Lavin kid was doing a lot of good things until he got injured, but he's coming back slowly. I don't know what his status is right now. Derek might have to speak to that, but I'm not sure where he's at. But he did a little bit of things, but not a lot today, and we'll see. But I think that group in the whole is a solid group of kids.
Moving for the red and white game, I know you guys are hoping to get a big crowd in here. I know it's the 15th practice, but obviously it's not a normal practice.
Well, I'm looking for the same things I look for out there today. I'm looking for ball security, explosive plays that generates points. I'm looking for the offense to people moving in and out of the huddle. I'm looking for the management of the game. I want to watch the game from the press box and go, looks like a pretty solid bunch of kids that know what they're supposed to be doing. Now, will they win on every block and win on every route and throw accurate balls all the time? I don't know. But I think sometimes in spring games you watch the thing and you just say, yeah, they look pretty solid. I think that's sometimes the best way to judge them.
Who's moved forward in the receiving core outside of Herndon?
Well, I think he's the one to me that the last few days has really stepped up in his game. I think DeArthur Cowan has done a few nice things, but DeArthur seems to be like a typical freshman. He'll take a couple steps forward and one step back, so I'll hold judgment on DeArthur right now. But I'd say those seniors, Horton, Hatcher, the seniors in Hatcher have been doing a nice job.
Are you always up in the press box? Is that where you've always
I have been, and I think that's probably the direction I'm thinking right now.
Cody Walker
It was fun to watch him play. You know, he's excited. I think he's moving past his mindset of worrying and just playing football, and it was good to see him go out and get involved and mix it up just a little bit. So he's a big, heavy young man. I mean, he brings a load when he's carrying the ball, and I'm glad to have him back in the offense. As we try to continue to establish the mindset of physicality, size and stature has a lot to do with that. It's hard for little people to go out and always be physical people, and Cody's not that. He's a large kid.
Do you have expectations for where you want him to be and where you are now, you know, say installation?
Do I write them down prior to spring ball? No, but I would say that you know, you always feel like I'm not pushing a bunch of installation at them, and Coach is not that way philosophically, so I feel comfortable that we're growing. Every day it's easy to see our development and our growth. Somebody shows up going, they got it, the light came on, which is a good thing. So am I comfortable? No, we're not near where we need to be, but as from the duration of the spring, from the start to the day, there's been a lot of progress. So I'm comfortable with that.
You guys hit a lot of schools yesterday recruiting. Can you talk about the reception you've had?
Well, I went around. I was one of them. Went out, had a fun time. Reception. The coaches here are great in this state, and they love the Hogs, and we love them, and it was fine. I mean, as far as there was no parades anywhere I went, but the coaches were wonderful. They're great. They really are. They've been very supportive of us.
It's kind of a unique deal from what we've seen. Usually the coaches will wrap up spring, take a week off, and then go out. What was, I mean, the urgency to get out?
You'll have to ask Coach on philosophically what he wanted to do on that. I think for the most part, we were going to win and lose with these Arkansas young men. We wanted to show the importance of it, but I'll lean on him to tell you why he chose that. My job's just to do what he tells me. Get in that car and drive.
Is Cody good to scrimmage in the red-white game? Will he be?
Pardon?
Is Cody Walker good to scrimmage in the red-white?
You know, we're going to talk about all that on Wednesday tomorrow to decide who's going on. I think right now the plan might be we haven't got that far, but if he can, we'd love to see him do it. I don't know if it's the right thing. We'll get that from the training staff. If they're comfortable letting him do it or not, we'll find out.
So give you a chance to talk about Pittman. How about the offensive line?
But that's the only group that slid back. As Pittman continues to coach them, we continue to go the wrong way. No, I think the hurt young man getting hurt hasn't helped. But with that comes opportunities, like Beck and Stringer have had to step up there and play. Real pleased with what Beck did. Beck went in and competes. This boy's a hard-nosed young man that it's so important to him. It just shows. And when he makes a mistake, he'd like to cut his own head off. He's one of those kids. So he's fun. And in the development of the kids, it's been fine. It's right where we need to be. We continue to struggle blocking movements, but I think most offenses do at this stage of spring football. So are we different than most? No. But I think that what's happening is they're understanding who Sam is, and they're getting a grasp of how he's going to coach them.
All right. Thank you, Coach.
Thank y'all. Have a good day.